Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TbT channel. Welcome to today's video. Now this is about a telescopic sight, a budget telescopic sight. In fact, this is the cheapest telescopic sight I've ever had because it was free. Somebody, oh, I love free stuff. A company contacted me and said, we've got some new scopes. Would you mind doing a review on one? We'll send it to you. You do a video review. You can keep the scope afterwards. I thought, well, yeah, why not? I mean, you would, wouldn't you? So and then they said, oh, they showed us the range and sent me links to their products and things like that. And now the company is called CVLife. Okay, they've been around for at least 8 years that I know of, because about 8 years ago I bought one of their scopes. It is the one I have currently on my BSA Lightning. This little, if you remember from the 1980s, the Hacko, was it the Hacko? It was also known as the Gamekeeper, the Optima Gamekeeper scope. Lovely little scopes, and this is a cheap copy of it. Now it's parallax adjustable, 4:21. It's got fancy bits all over the reticule. It's probably the worst scope I've ever had. I'm going to be honest, right from the outset, probably the worst scope I've ever had. I use it and I love it, but the coatings on the lenses were bobbly. It looks, when you look through there, if you look at a white background, you can see tiny little dots everywhere. You can't really see them if you're not looking for them, but I've seen them, and that's just, that drives me with my CDO, do lally tap. So they said, do we want to send you a scope for you to review it? I said, look, I'll be honest, I've got one of your scopes. I didn't like it. Well, I do like it. I still use it. I actually love the scope, but it wasn't the best. The quality wasn't good. So they said, well, which scope was it? And I told them, and I sent them photos, and I showed them the issue. I'll show you how you find that issue and put it in a photograph later as well. And they said, right, okay, noted. I think that scope was only about 20 quid. I mean, what did I expect for 20 quid? But they said, look, things have moved on from there. We were starting in that, and now we've moved on. What we are producing now is of a different level of quality. So I said, okay, send it to me and I'll do an honest review. And they said, fine. The only things that I have to put in there, the list of the riders, if you like, I have to provide a link to the product with, oh, and there's a discount code, the discount code in the product, and I have to show you what's in the box and how the various things work. That's it. My opinion of it is my opinion of it. They haven't said, oh, you've got to be nice, and if it's not nice, don't put it out. So that's nice, because other things I've reviewed in the past, even when I've not been provided it free, if I said something that didn't please the manufacturer, they get quite upset with me. So this is going to be what I think of this product, and I'm hoping it's better than that one there. So first of all, here's the box. Okay, it's a plain white box. I have no idea if they all come in a plain white box, or just whether, because this is a freebie given out for testing on YouTube's, it's just comes in a plain white box. And it has, get my glasses, there is a little sticker on here with a part number, and it just says CVLife WX 4:12 by 44. Okay, so that's it. We have inside of here a 4:12 by 44 magnification scope. Now, not opening it yet. I've looked at their website, and I have to say, I'm hoping this is good. I am hoping this is good, because they've got some great stuff on there. You know, my Glocks and things like that, where I've got a little dovetail rail underneath, they do little lasers that fit underneath there for on handguns and stuff like that, and they would be fantastic on air guns as well. BB blowback CO2 guns, little laser on there, be absolutely fantastic. And they also do, apart from this, which is not an expensive scope, even if you have to pay for it, it's not an expensive scope, they do some other scopes as well. And I'm quite interested to try them because I usually spend too much, if I'm honest, too much money on scopes. So let's see what we've got inside of here. There's nothing inside of there. Nothing up the sleeve. So we have the scope inside, well packaged, lots of foam. I've got a little thing with a cleaning cloth, you know, quite normal. I've got a little thing with an Allen key. I'm sure we'll find out what that's for. And I've got a little box. Let's see what's in my little box here. Ow, 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 ow. Shouldn't put my arm up that high. Set of a set of mounts. Let's have a look. They look all right. That's quite a good looking mount. Medium size. Oh, okay. It's for a Picatinny rail. I don't have many Picatinny railed guns, but that's a standard 25. Yeah, it looks like a standard 25mm tube. So I'll find some dovetail ones to use. But it comes with mounts, and they are decent looking. They certainly look the part. Picatinny mounts there. The only gun I've got, I think, that I've got Picatinny mounts on is my AR-15, and I don't want to put it on my AR-15 because I've just zeroed that, and I don't want to be mucking around with that one. But anyway, let's get some of the foam out. What else we got in here? Oh, here we go. Silica gel. I spy the silica gel. Now, here's hoping. Is it the eating type? Do not eat. One day I will get silica gel that is the eating type. Nothing else in the box. Oh, I've got some instructions. Let's have a quick look. Put the box to one side there. Quick look at the instructions. 4 to 12 by 44 SFP rifle scope. SFP, that's secondary focal plane, isn't it? Which is the normal. That's the normal one. That's where the crosshair stays the same. When you magnify it, the crosshair stays the same size. But for the price of this, you wouldn't expect it to be any different. So we've got 44mm objective, 36mm eyepiece, a mil dot reticule, quarter MOA windage and elevation, plus or minus 30 on the adjustment. Blah blah blah. It's coated materials, and it's 6061 aircraft grade aluminium. Aluminium. That's how you pronounce it. Aluminium. So the reticle is a. Oh, I was sorry the other day. I've got so many words that I say that annoy myself. They really do. I have a tendency to say skeleton instead of skeleton, Pacific instead of specific, and reticule and tacticule as well. And I didn't realise I'd done it on a video the other week, and a few people mentioned it. I'm sorry about that. It's just one of those things. You'll get used to it. I'm just annoying. So we got a fast focus eyepiece, variable power, windage and adjustment, maintenance, cleaning, troubleshooting, warranty. Let's have a look at the warranty. That is important. To guarantee the highest quality service and peace of mind, every customer who purchases the 4 to 12 by 44 SFP scope will receive a 1-year warranty provided by CVLife. It doesn't cover loss, theft, intentional damage, or minor blemishes that do not affect the product's functionality. If you've experienced any problems, you can contact our customer service at Amazon. We will work to resolve the issue to your satisfaction. Now, here's the thing. These are available on Amazon. The link that I've got takes you to their website, and they are available on Amazon. Now, when you go to the website, these are priced in dollars, US dollars. But don't worry, they come from China, not America, so it's okay to buy them. I have asked them about, pricing it in other things apart from dollars, because in the UK, we like to buy things in pounds, euros at a push. But currently, they're coming from a central depot, and it is priced in dollars. It would be good if we could get dealers in the UK and the EU for this kind of thing. But we'll see. That's a thing for the future. So let's get this out. Okay. Well, it feels nice and it looks nice. Nothing wrong with that. We've got covers on these now. Oh, that's not bad. I've had scope covers before. In fact, I've probably got some dotted around near here that are quite rubbery and quite soft, and they're not very positive, and they never click into place properly. But this does. This actually closes with a click. Let's check the other end. Yeah, it's a positive click, so that's good. I like that. I've taken the scope covers off of most of my guns, but they're better than a lot. That's good. Now the price of this, while I've got this in my hand, I mentioned it's in dollars. This is on their website $66. Okay, for a 4 to 12 by 44 scope. $66. That's about 50 quid. Now, I've had cheap scopes. I've had scopes cheaper than 50 quid. I've had cheap scopes that are more than 50 quid. And I'm not going to mention names, but the ones that are more than 50 quid, I've been quite disappointed with. So it's going to be interesting to compare one of those unnamed brand, Sport HD being the model, to see how this compares. But it certainly feels the part. I'm going to take the covers off for now so that I can get a better look at the scope itself. Now, that's fallen on the floor, but that's okay. I'm not going to bend down and pick it up. So we have the adjustable zoom there, and that moves nice and freely. It's not loose. Sometimes you can get them where they just they're loose, and other times it's really quite a stiff movement, but that's good. That feels damped and it feels smooth, but it's not overly tight. And let's have a look at this fast focus eyepiece. Yeah, again, it feels when I say damped, you know what I mean? You turn something, it's got resistance, but it's like a fluid resistance. It doesn't feel like it's tight. It just feels like that's how it's supposed to be. On tripods, you get, when you get a good quality tripod and you move it, and it just flows. It feels like that. So that's nice. And the other thing to check on scopes, that is another bugbear of mine, is the turret. Ooh, is the turrets. Sorry. a squeak of surprise and delight there. These are finger adjustable turrets. Look at that. And what I was actually opening it up to check was whether these have a positive click. Let's have a little listen. Where's my microphone? Yeah, that's a positive click. That's a good thing. Sometimes they're a little bit mushy and you have no real faith that they're going to be where you left them. But that's a good positive click. I like that. I'm hoping that this provided Allen key, it does. It fits into there. So that should mean that once you've zeroed, you can. Right. Let me show you. I'll get rid of the screw that I've taken out of there, but let me show you this to show you what I mean in case you haven't used one like this. Around the edge of the turret here, the finger adjustable turret, you've got numbers and you've got markers. Okay, so you can zero it and then you can undo that screw and you can turn it around and put the 0 above the dot. Okay, so if for any reason you change your scope, you know where to take it back to put it back to the 0 where it was before. And some people, not me, but some people will dial in their ranges. So they have the gun, say they've got the gun zeroed for 100 meters. This is more on centerfire. But you've got your gun zeroed for 100 meters and your target's at 300 meters. They'll dial in the drop on the turret rather than use a mil dot. And that comes in very useful then. So let's check that one as well. Excuse me. That feels nice. That does feel nice. Now, I'm going to put this down to its lowest zoom because that's the only one that will work at short range. And look down the other end of there. It's a clear image. It's a clear image, and we've got mil dots 1, 2, 3, 4 down, 1, 2, 3, 4 to each side. So that's good. Mil dots, there's a technical use of mil dots, and it escapes me now as to what it is, and it's something to do with your average 6 foot person at 100 meters is 1 mil dot apart, and you can use it for range finding, blah blah blah. Most of the people I'm going to be talking to here, we're going to be using this for air rifles, and all we use mil dots for is holdover. You can use it for windage as well, but if you've got your rifle zeroed for 30 meters and you've got a target at 50 meters, depending on your pellet, depending on power, blah blah blah, you'll think, well, that's 1.5 mil dots. So you just compensate and you count off your mil dots. In the old days, before mil dots, when I was a lad, when we were young, we didn't have mil dots. In fact, most of us didn't have scopes. But if we had a scope, it would have a duplex reticle. Sorry, I'm doing it again. A duplex reticle. And what that meant was you were zeroed for 30 yards, because we didn't even have meters back then. You were zeroed for 30 yards and your rabbit was at 40 yards. So that meant you had to aim for halfway up its ear. And that's how we did it. And it worked and it was great. But now we have mil dots. So that's good. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick here. I'm going to show you a little trick, and it is how to look to see whether your lenses are clean and whether they've got any cracks, marks or blemishes on them. I always do this with a scope, and there's been lots of times in gun shops where I've done this and the fella behind the counter's gone, you're looking down the wrong end. I know this. If you look down the wrong end of a telescopic sight at a light, you can see every lens and every component inside of that scope. Let's look at that one, because that's a brighter light. So by turning it around, I can look and I can tell you there's no dust, crap or crud inside of that scope, which is, I'll be honest, a big step up over the one I got 8 years ago from them. I love the scope, I've still got the scope, I still use it. I think it's the best looking scope in the world, and the reticle is actually really, really good. But I know those blemishes are there, and if you're not looking at a white sheet of paper, you can't even see them. But I know they're there. The CDO makes that difficult for me. But this is different. This looks good. It looks crisp and clear. Now, I did find a thing that goes on the back of a scope, which means I can put my mobile phone to the back of the scope and we can all enjoy the view through this scope together. So I'm going to go and try and do that now. Let's go out and have a look through this scope. And that was what we in the trade call a fail. It simply didn't work. My mobile phone has multiple lenses across the back of it, and when I try to present it up to the hole in the mobile phone holder on the back of here, it just went, oh, it's gone dark, and switched lenses, and I couldn't get it to look through the lens that I wanted it to look down through here. That hasn't worked. But what I can tell you is it's really clear. Now, most of my scopes are expensive scopes. I'm a scope tart. That's you know, I don't usually use cheap scopes, but this doesn't feel or look like the cheap scopes I've been looking through in the past. This actually feels quite good. And if somebody had given this to me and said, oh, there's a scope, try that, and not told me the price, I'd have probably liked it more than I would do, knowing it's only a 50 quid scope. And that's probably a good thing, isn't it? The image is crisp and clear. The way you should do this, okay, teaching you to suck eggs here, I'm almost certain, but you look up into the sky and then you get your reticle and you adjust this eyepiece at the back until the reticle is completely crisp and clear and sharp in the sky. Then that's focused. Then you bring it down and you can look around. When you're using good quality optics, be it a telescope, telescopic sight or binoculars, you get a crisp, sharp image all the way to the edge, right around the edge. If you use a cheap scope, you'll get a small clear bit in the center and it fades and gets blurrier as you go towards the edges. That's just the way it is. That's That's what you can tell from looking through a cheap scope. The smaller the clear bit in the center is, the less good the lenses are in that scope. And I can tell you from looking through this at all different ranges, there is a small band of blur around the outside, but it is clear, crystal clear across the majority of it, and it is just around the edges where it starts to blur. So it is as good, if not better, than most of the ones I would consider to be a budget scope. Now, the Vector Hugo that I tested last week on my 17 HMR, I've just looked through that and through this at the same targets in the same conditions. This is less blurry around the outsides than that one, and that was considerably more than this, so I can't help thinking that's a good thing. Now, this is $66. There is a discount code in the description. If you put that discount code, it's a TbT discount code, you will get a 10% discount off that. I don't know how long that's valid for. They just said make a video, put a link, use this code, your customers, your viewers can get a 10% discount. That takes it down to a 45 quid scope with decent mounts. Oh, and also I think you get a hat or a sticker. I don't know, I'll double check that, but in the email something about a hat or a sticker as well. I mean, a hat, who doesn't love a hat? So check that out, check out their website and look at the other products. I'm probably, I mean, this is rated, oh, also this is rated for springers. It's got an 800G rating, which means it will work on springers. If you put it onto a harsh springer, it will survive. Some scopes don't. This is intended for use with spring powered air rifles, which is why they wanted me to review it, because most of my viewers on here, we like spring powered air rifles. And what I am going to do is I am going to mount it on this, okay, my Lightning. Now, I know I've done work on my Lightning, but it is still the most violent of my springers that I have. So I'm going to mount that on there. I can't cock that rifle at the moment. That's all there is to it. I can't cock that rifle at the moment, but I'm going to take it round my mate Den's house and I'm going to get him to put 100 shots through it. We're going to zero it and see if it stays on zero for 100 shots. But looking at it, I have absolutely no reason to think why it wouldn't. It's going to be a week or two before this video goes live from today, so that will have been done in the meantime. If I have anything adverse to report, I will let you know, or simply pull this video. But in the meantime, 45 quid for a 4 to 12 by 44 scope seems like a good deal to me. Like, subscribe, hit notifications, check out that website below. If you do get one of these, if you already have one of these, please leave a comment below and tell me what you think, what you thought of it, how it's working out for you. I want to know. Thank you all for watching. I will see you again soon. Goodbye.